Papa, the Papa of all times. Welcome.
That's my Papa.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Pakisha. Biminites. Bahamians everywhere. Young people of Bimini. The waves of Colorado are sweeping across the Bahamas. It converged on Clifford Park and Nassau on Thursday evening, and we created a red sea on that park.
Color red.
And I firstly want to thank you for sending Bimini's red wave to Nassau on Thursday night pass. I'm happy to be with you this afternoon. You know I was scheduled to join you a week ago, but the weather prevented that. But I wanted to keep my promise to come to ask you personally to come with me and Pakisha this time. Please bear with me. I'm still nursing a sore throat to my voice, so my voice is not its best. And I've got another rally in North Abaco later this evening. Now, Biminites, Bahamians, I understand that last night they had an all-about Ingraham PLP rally in Nassau. They seem to think it's all about me. They clearly don't understand that it's all about you, the Bahamian people. They believe it's all about me because I am standing in their way. What they don't understand is I'm not here in their way because I put myself here, you know. I'm here because you and the good people of the Bahamas put me here. So they could be as vexed as they like with me, cuss me as much as they like. I take my responsibility seriously. I serve as the gatekeeper out the Bahamas to keep them out. Without me and the FNM, they would happily go about their wheeling and dealing and dishonesty and crookedness, and they would sell you out. They tell me that last night, Dame Marguerite Pinlan told many stories about me. Now, I understand the good lady's hurt after losing her life of privilege, that she believes she was entitled to live at the expense of the Bahamian people forever and ever and ever.
Are you serious?
Dead serious. Well, you know, power in this country belongs to you, the people. And those of us who are fortunate enough to get elected should never forget that the power is yours. They caused me to remember the saying when they talked about me last night, you know. When you are rich, you don't squander. So when you are poor, you don't cry. Many in the elite and leadership of that other party would do well to learn and remember that. Yes, you and I caused her and them to lose their positions of entitlement. We have no regret for having done so. It was time for them to go, and we must together ensure they never come back. They do not have your interests at heart. They call their rallies Rush for Gold. What they really mean is rush for oil. That's what they mean. Bimini, Bahamians everywhere. The message I have for you is the message I've been taking throughout the length and breadth of our islands. You can count on the FNM to deliver for you. We are the party of proven and tested leadership. We are the party with a record of deliverance. Deliverance on promises made. We take our election commitments as solemn oaths. They're not vote-getting tactics and strategies. Our promises are exactly what we plan and intend to do and deliver for Bimini. As simple as that garbage dump that was in Bimini all those years, catching fire all the time. The PLP in 26 years in office could not move the garbage out of Bimini.
You joking.
Couldn't move the dump. Couldn't move the dump. Bimini. To deliver on our promises, we need a good, solid FNM team in the House of Assembly. A team that represents tested and tried leadership, professional, entrepreneurial expertise, and youthful energy and talent. I ask you to help us to finish the good work we began in 1992 and continued since 2007. An important part of that work will be for you to elect Pakeisha Parker Edgecombe to the House of Assembly. We need, and David was right, you know, when I told him that I needed a change in Bimini, because I want to win Bimini this time. I wasn't going to say no retread, no rehash. I said you something new. New meat for Bimini.
Color red. It's on the move. Color red. It's on the move.
Many others thought the nomination for Bimini. She has been chosen for you. Deliver her to me. We need her. She's young and dynamic. She's well-known. She's a well-known journalist and a familiar face. She's also very community-minded and deeply interested in youth development. She's a great example of the opportunity society we are seeking to create. And so I ask you here in Bimini to help build our FNM team by ensuring that come next Monday, you support me, you vote FNM, and you make Pakeisha Parker your next MP. Now, I know that here in Bimini, many of you have given your support to that other party. They don't have your interest at heart. And so I ask that you come with me this time and help me make history as we sweep all 5 Grand Bahama and Bimini seats. And indeed, as we have a clean sweep in all Family Island seats, as we did in 1997, but
color
one.
Red. It's on the move. Color red. It's on the move.
You will be part of making history for the FNM to win a 4th term in the House. Women, and especially young women, as a wife and as a mother of young children, Pakeisha knows the daily challenges of balancing the demands of family life and work. We are fortunate she came forward and offered herself for service. As a mother, a professional, and as someone interested in public life, she will also bring an especially important perspective on issues affecting women, youth, and children. Her coverage of the news has given her an in-depth knowledge of the life and the aspirations and needs of Grand Bahama and Bimini. So Pakeisha will be a voice on a range of issues affecting all Bahamians. When Obie was a journalist, he may also have had his air and his feet more on the ground. But Obie has lost touch now. He's now yesterday's story. Make some good and new news by sending Pakeisha to the House of Assembly. Now, Bimini. The Christie, that's not mine. The Christie-led PLP is neglectful of you. They only care for themselves. I remember painfully in 2010, December, the fire, which destroyed a number of homes on this island. I immediately dispatched my Minister of Labour and Social Development to see what emergency relief you required and what the government could extend to you. It took the PLP, who represents you in the House, 2 full days to get to Bimini. There's late again and there's shameful neglect. I don't know if the leader of that other party ever showed up down here. The reports tell me that he was partying in Exuma while the people of Bimini suffered. Your MP turned up 48 hours later, after the fire. Many of you were deeply disappointed, though not surprised that it took him that long to show up. If truth be told, Obie has been a most neglectful member of Parliament. What had to be especially painful for many of you was, notwithstanding their neglect of you, that party's deputy leader, Brave Davis, and your MP dashed out to a fire on Fire Trail Road in Nassau the day after a bad fire took place there. They went there to pose for the cameras. They like profiling, you know. They like lights and camera. But when it comes to action, they run away as fast as the thief run from the law. They always do their deeds accompanied by the press so they can all be recorded. Not so with their misdeeds, which they cover up. But when the cameras and lights shut off, bush crack, PLP leadership gone. In Grand Bahama, following the 2004-2005 hurricanes, it took Perry and Brave almost a week to get there, a whole week. Even after promising all manner of relief, very little was done. They talk. They do not deliver. The PLP talks a good game. Talkers they are, deliverers they are not. Bimini, it's time for a fresh start for Bimini.
Color red. It's on the move.
Obie had his opportunity and he squandered it. He failed to deliver for you. Give Pakisha a chance. Kick Obie out. Kick Obie out. When the PLP took 48 hours to get to Bimini after the fire, your FNM governors on the ground within hours of the fire providing tangible assistance. You know, when I say kick Obie out, I told him this before, that I will give him a job. He's a good broadcaster. So as soon as he loses his seat, he can come to see me. I'll give him a job.
Are you serious?
I will give him a job.
Color red. It's on the move.
I have nothing against him. I like him. He's just been a bad MP, that's all. The funny thing is that though Obie likes to talk and profile just as much as the rest of them, you know, there's almost nary a public word has been heard from him this election. Maybe he thinks silence is golden. He's a senior man in the PLP. At one time, they were even talking about him as a future leader of the party. Why are they hiding Obie? Why should the voters of West End and Bimini vote for someone his own party doesn't want to have on the public stage? If you are embarrassed by somebody before the election, you'll still be embarrassed by them after the election. You know, the PLP produced many embarrassments in the last election. You ever hear about Sidney Stubbs anymore? Vincent Pete? Cole Smith? Bradley Roberts? Alison Maynard? And Shameless Shane Gibson? We are happy with Pakisha and with all our candidates. We don't have to hide no one or ban no one from speaking. None of our candidates are in the witness protection program. None. Bimini, Bahamians everywhere. Those who oppose us cannot and will not change. They are interested in their well-being and the growth of their personal wealth. They have no interest in you or in making life better for you and for your children. Last Friday, for instance, the leader of the opposition, Perry Gladstone Christie, confirmed that he is a paid consultant with a company seeking to explore and drill for oil in the Bahamas. Last night, or the night before, reacting to the shock and dismay of even members of his own party who could not understand or accept that their leader would place himself in a position so rife with conflict of interest potential, he desperately tried to backtrack. He wants to change his story now, so it reads that he used to be a consultant to the company on these matters. It's a lie. He was a consultant at the time. The record of this matter is very clear and shows exactly how some members of that compromise party use political office to advance their personal fortunes. The Bahamas government, led by their party, awarded 5 exploration licenses to the oil company in the year 2006. They didn't make those licenses effective, though, until April of 2007, just before they got kicked out of office. Voted out of office days later, the new leader of the opposition, and the man who would soon enough become the deputy leader of the party, Philip Brave Davis, promptly took the oil company on as clients, one as a lawyer and the other as a consultant. What is more, Jerome Gomez, one of those supposed fresh faces that the leader of the opposition has been trying to foist upon the people of the Bahamas as representing a new future, has been discovered to have served as the resident representative of the same oil company before it opened its offices in Nassau. I guess Mr. Jerome Gomez is as fresh a face as is his namesake, Jerome Fitzgerald, who sought to guide public contracts to a company called BK Water, a company which he headed with the assistance of the national chairman of the PLP, Bradley Roberts. Mr. Fitzgerald is now a senator and the PLP candidate for the Marathon constituency in the upcoming elections. The truth is that the PLP, through several of its candidates, Perry Christie, Brave Davis, Leslie Miller, Jerome Gomez, and the campaign coordinator, Alison Maynard Gibson, the $1 million LNG Ocean Key woman, have worked for or represented the interests of the oil and gas lobby in this country. Now they want to become the next government, just in time to renew the licenses they signed in the first place. This perfect timing smells fishy to me. What do you think? The Bahamian electorate had the good sense to vote this group out in 2007, and I believe the Bahamian public has the good sense not to vote them back in this time. And so I've come to Bimini to ask you to help us keep them out so they don't sell you out. Bimini, we can never be unmindful of the horrendous explosion at an ocean-based oil drilling operation in the Gulf of the east coast of Louisiana just 2 years ago. Certainly we do not have the resources, human or financial, or the capacity to respond to such a disaster as did the United States government in that instance. Fix this. It's the second time I told me this earlier, this thing mess up, you know. Radio and television. Not just the radio, the television too, I want them here. Certainly we in the Bahamas don't have the resources, human or financial, or the capacity to respond to such a disaster as did the United States in that instance. We know and we understand that the damage that we've done to our marine life, to our seabed, and to our pristine beaches and rocky shoreline would be devastatingly huge, with the potential, in one fell swoop, of course, an untold damage to both our tourism industry, including sports fishing and our fisheries. Following the environmental disaster in the Gulf, my government put in place a moratorium. Following the environmental disaster in the Gulf, my government put in place a moratorium on the grant of permits and licenses related to oil drilling in the Bahamas. We explained at the time that until we are fully satisfied, all necessary and appropriate regulations are in place, and until we are fully and competently in a position to regulate such activity so as to protect our environment and that the world's oceans beyond from harmful and risky activity in our country and in our waters, no further permits or licenses would be approved by the government. We are not now in a position to regulate and oversee oil drilling operations in our waters. Hence, there will be no oil drilling in our waters under the FNM until we are in such a position. And it doesn't matter who their consultants are. My greatest obligation is to do what I think is the right thing at any given time to protect the best interests of you, the Bahamian public, and that of future generations. And so I will not take any deliberate action that may cause serious damage or harm to our country, regardless of the promised financial reward for select few consultants and legal representatives. I never tire of telling you that we in the FNM do not go that way. We accept that we are different, distinctly different from them. I continue to hold my hands up throughout this country and say, these hands are clean hands.
That's my papa.
Bimini and Bahamians everywhere. Putting Bahamians first is a duty. I've sworn to uphold each time I place my hand on the Bible and promised to abide by the Constitution and protect the interests of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. That other party is good at framing glib slogans to try and catch people's imaginations. They also have a long record of disappointing those who buy into their slogans. In this campaign, they say they believe in Bahamians and promise to invest in Bahamians. Regrettably, they are only slogans. When given the opportunity to believe in Bahamians and invest in Bahamians between 2002 and 2007, they chose otherwise. I'll give you a couple examples. They cancelled the government subsidy of 1/2 interest payable on government-guaranteed education loans introduced by the FNM. But that remained, the government paid 1/2 of the interest and the parent paid the other half. They cancelled that and required the parent to pay the full amount. Many parents were unable to pay the full amount and their loans went into default. The FNM has now stepped into the plate and will refund all those persons who paid from 2007 since we came to office. They failed to build in this country a single new school or library. They failed to construct a single new community health clinic on their watch. They did very little to upgrade water supply infrastructure in the Family Islands or in New Providence. They failed to dredge Nassau Harbor and place the whole all-important cruise industry in jeopardy. They failed to construct a new national stadium, notwithstanding a generous donation from the Chinese government. And they failed to move the redevelopment of the LPIA forward. Instead, they went down there and named the airport LPIA. The Bahamian public deserves more than empty PLP promises and slogans. Fellow Bahamians, I know that many of you are concerned about the terrible impacts upon your small community resulting from the illegal transit traffic of drugs and illegal migrants, but also the gun trafficking which typically occurs alongside the others. And as the game fishing capital of the Bahamas, you have a vested interest in securing the marine resources of our country. Those of you who had the opportunity to review Manifesto 2012 online or more recently in its printed form will see my government has given and continues to give priority attention to beefing up our ability to confront these ills on all fronts. The FNM's decision to transform the Royal Bahamas Defence Force was done with great deliberation and plenty hard thinking. It will be the largest, boldest, and most wide-scale boost of the force in the entire history of the force. We undertook extensive studies on the organization and strength of the Defence Force. We appointed a group of 8 former and serving Defence Force commanders and captains to advise on what was required in terms of vessels and manpower. The expert committee provided advice on the correct number of vessels and the manpower levels required for the force to adequately fulfill its mandate to patrol our waters and enforce our laws with respect to fisheries, legal entry, and trade. Today's force strength is 1,164 men and women. We intend to take it to 1,400 men and women. We have calculated over the next 5 years, approximately 40 Marines may leave the force for a variety of reasons. This will require that we recruit more than 235 Marines in order to achieve and maintain the force strength of 1,400. Bimini, the FNM is a big tent.
Yes, sir.
We take all who want better for the Bahamas.
Yes, sir.
We are open to any and all PLPs. Bring me a yellow shirt and I'll give you 2 red shirts.
Color red. Color red.
I'll give you 2 for 1.
Color red.
I say to all good-thinking and loyal Biminites, come with me, support my party, the FNM, support Pakisha. We have and we will keep your interests at heart. That's why not a single civil servant was disengaged as a result of the global economic downturn. That's why, notwithstanding the impact of the global economic recession on our economy, we, the FNM government, increased social service assistance, expanded national insurance benefit programs, engaged additional policemen, Defence Force, Marines, immigration and customs officers. Those others are busy trying to deflect attention from their weak leader, trying desperately to convince the Bahamian population that this election is not about leadership. You know better, so do I. Elections in difficult economic times demand that leadership be the principal issue. These are times for strong and decisive leadership. Leadership that will make the tough decisions. This is no time for wavering and waffling. This is no time for talk and more talk. This is time for action. I offer you on behalf of the FNM, I offer you on behalf of the FNM proven leadership. I offer you accountable and transparent government. I offer you clean hands. I pledge again to you that as a government, we will deliver for you. We believe that Bimini will benefit from the Heritage Tourism Initiative, which will create jobs and boost your economy. Bimini's storied history is the site of the Fountain of Youth, as a popular rest and recreational spot for a wide variety of international personalities, such as the American writer Ernest Hemingway, former President Richard Nixon, celebrated civil rights leader Martin Luther King, U.S. Congressman Adam Clayton Powell, provide rich material for the creation of most interesting historical trail around Bimini on land and sea. Under the initiative, we will help to upgrade some of the infrastructure needed to enhance heritage sites and the heritage experience that residents and tourists are able to enjoy during their visits. Biminites, fellow Bahamians, it is the FNM that will always look after the interests of the family islands. That is why we introduced local government, expanded electricity and telephone infrastructure, made access to cable TV possible, constructed modern health clinics close to family island communities, undertook large-scale infrastructure upgrades around the country. Since 2007, we improved electricity supply on this island, constructed the power plant. The FNM always places the highest priority in education on expanding facilities, improving tuition materials, and the like. In our next term in office, build a new high school here in Bimini. I'm also pleased to say that we have now agreed that all teachers in the government school system will enjoy health insurance coverage, and that the government will pay 80% of the insurance premium and the teacher pays 20%, and that begins on July 1 this year. And I remind you, the PLP never built a single school in their term in office last time.
Never.
In our next time, we will build additional COB dormitory space in New Providence to accommodate family island students like Biminites, and we will provide rental stipends to needs-tested students who cannot be accommodated in dormitories. Those others lie when they tell you that they believe in young Bahamians. They believe only in themselves, their families, and their friends. Just as they lie to you when they tell you that I don't like Bimini. I love Bimini and Biminites. You know that. Oh. I love Biminites and I love Bimini. You know that.
Are you serious?
Dead serious. In our next time, we will also improve your airport. We will demolish that customs warehouse on your dock and demolish that government administrators of a house, which is a blight on Bimini's landscape. We will construct for you a new government administrative complex to house all government agencies so as to ensure the residents in Bimini are able to move more easily access public services usually only available in Nassau. Both the Public Treasury and the Registrar General's Office will have branch offices in Bimini, making registering a birth or obtaining a copy of a birth certificate easier for you right here in Bimini. And Pakisha knows that I told her we want a focused program to clean up Bimini and keep Bimini clean at all times. We will also commence a program to arrest the erosion along the north coast, which has been eaten away at your coastline. Biminites, young people, FNMs, Bahamians everywhere. In transforming our country, we cannot go with the smallness of vision and the weakness of leadership of the PLP. Not only will they take the country backwards, they lack the vision and the quality of leadership needed to move the Bahamas forward. But this is not a fight any of us can go alone. It was band together. So tonight, Biminites, hit the streets, house to house. Go on our website. We'd be grateful if you would click that donate button and help us keep money rolling in, because the other guys got plenty money. We don't. I ask all voters to pick up your cards, all 1,100 plus of you. We need 650 votes in Bimini. Give me them, okay?
Color red. It's on the move. Color red. It's on the move.
I need 650. Anything less, you fall short. That's my deal. You give me 650 and I have the other part of the deal to deliver for you. You understand that?
You're simply the best.
As I leave you, I ask you to come with me. Come with the FNM. Vote for Pakisha. Make her your next MP. She will look after your interests and she will make you proud. I assure you, I am on Bimini's side. Thank you, Bimini. God bless you. Good night.
You're